You've got to understand, you've got one life. You've got one life, and so many of you are living like you're going to live for fucking ever, and you're not. And you're going to get to a point in your life and you go, oh, you know what? I only wish I had done more. That's a life of regret. And so many people get to that point in their life where they live that life of regret. Napoleon Hill identified in his book that there are 3 common triggers that create massive momentum very quickly for people on their pursuit of wealth in business. Would you like to know what they are? Yes. Number 1, a relationship. They meet someone of significance that charges them up and makes them want to go and conquer the world. They meet someone that inspires them. The second one was the birth of a child, which he points to the realization of legacy, where you start to realize, I now have a being that I created, that I'm responsible for. I want to ensure that I take care of this being as best that I can. Any parents in the room, can you relate to this? When I found out my wife was pregnant, my productivity went through the roof and my work hours went through the floor. I studied every single hack I could find to learn how to increase my output, but whilst working less so that I could be a father. And the third one is experiencing mortality. The experience of mortality, either through a near-death experience with themselves, a near-death experience with a loved one, or the loss of someone that they deeply care about that they thought would live forever. But what I understand is, it's not until you realize how precious and short life is that you actually start to realize and understand this thing called time. The reason so many people aren't successful right now isn't because they don't have the talent or the skills, it's because they simply don't value time. Time is literally the most precious resource that you have in your possession that you can choose to invest at will, that will determine where you are tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. And so many of us are investing time into shitty investments. And the reality is, the only thing you will leave behind, apart from a box full of minerals, is a legacy. And the question I'd ask you today is, if today was your last day, would you be happy with what you left behind? Would you feel like you've fulfilled your life's purpose? And if the answer is no, then my question to you is, what are you going to do differently then? What are you going to do differently now than you did yesterday?